Can we use artificial intelligence to help us uncover and identify the next 100x potential cryptocurrency coin? Ladies and gentlemen, this is the question we are going to be asking ourselves today, as we will be using AI to analyze WooCoin or Woo token, or Woo. Now, if you are new to this series, basically what this is where we will be using artificial intelligence and we'll be applying it to the top 200 cryptos, almost like it's the NFL or the NBA combine. So basically what the combine is, for anyone unaware, is it's where all of the athletes who are hoping to get drafted by these sports teams, they'll come and they'll compete in a series of tests, a series of evaluations, and basically they will be scored on those evaluations, and that will determine how good they are, basically how successful they will be as a potential athlete, as a potential player. And so we're going to take this exact same concept, except we're going to be applying it to the 6 key metrics that will define the potential success of a crypto project. And so you can see the 6 key metrics here. And we'll be using AI to do so, like I mentioned, right? And so the reason that we will be doing it this way is because when we use AI, we are basically building a case to buy or not to buy, built on facts, not opinions, right? It's an unbiased, no vested interest way of looking at these projects and really diving in deep. It's not just some dude's opinion on the internet who's going to shill you some project, right? It's a very, very fast and efficient way, as you will see. And to be honest, AI is probably smarter than us. It can probably analyze more information, consider more variables, and give us the outputs to make a better decision than we could with our human brain. And finally, it is a scientific and replicatable system. So all of the prompts, all of the systems that we use here will be in the description below. You can take them yourself and you can apply them to any other project that is interesting to you. So without further ado, let's jump in and look. Alrighty, so jumping into Woo here today. As always, we will be following our standard procedure of first looking at the idea. We'll then be looking at the product itself, seeing what the team is building. Further than that, we'll be looking at the execution, the adoption, the community, and the team. So we have started with our setup prompt, and the first thing that we just want to get a grasp of is obviously the executive summary. So what Woo is all about, what the project is, all that sort of stuff. So Woo Network is a comprehensive liquidity network designed to provide deep liquidity, superior trading execution, and minimal fees for traders and institutions. Positioned within the crypto ecosystem, Woo Network functions as both a centralized and decentralized exchange, bridging the gap between these two worlds. It caters primarily to professional traders, institutions, and DeFi platforms seeking efficient, cost-effective trading solutions. The project addresses the significant problem of fragmented liquidity and high trading costs by aggregating liquidity from multiple sources, offering a seamless and cost-efficient trading experience. Okay, so that's an interesting take to being a decentralized and also centralized exchange. And then they're obviously tackling the liquidity issue as mentioned here. So let's jump into the problem. We are going to understand what, I guess it kind of was just stated there, but we're going to score it and see how uniquely it goes about solving this problem. So I'll pause this. I'll come back when we have our answers. Okay, so let me just grab the summary for answer number 1 here. So we got 9.0 and then 9.2 for as far as the under-addressed problem and the unique selling proposition goes. So addresses the significant problem of fragmented liquidity and high trading costs in the crypto ecosystem. So basically they're aggregating liquidity from a bunch of different sources, bringing it all to one platform, and basically providing more liquidity. As far as the unique selling proposition, Its deep liquidity, aggregation, and zero fee trading model, both of which are clearly articulated and offer substantial differentiation from existing models. So zero fee is interesting, right? Like, it's not a huge, at least in my, I'm not doing obviously like millions and millions of dollars to where fees would become like a big issue. But you look at Binance, the fees are reasonably minimal. But obviously Wu's coming in with a zero fee model to stand out. It does go to say here that potential shortcomings is basically like how you're going to maintain profitability with a zero fee trading model. So interesting idea. It obviously is a crowded, you're literally competing against Binance and Coinbase. Like, that is some pretty fierce competition. So yeah, keep that in mind. I would think it would be a bit of an uphill battle competing against those guys. Like, they just have infinity money. How are you going to compete with Binance with infinity money? Coinbase got backing. Like, yeah, tough going. But anyway, let's move forward and see here the product. So we'll grab this, we'll grab the prompt, and we will see what the product is rated as. So a functional, user-friendly product that meets several market demands, strong technical feasibility. So let's have a quick look here. Aggregate liquidity, market fit, fragmented liquidity, and high trading fees. So basically saying what we already know. I'll pause this, put it in the document, and then we will move forward into the execution. All right, so with the execution, we are basically looking at their roadmap, their vision, their white paper if they had one. And yeah, it's basically corroborating the updates that the Wu team is putting out based on what they initially said, what their roadmap milestones were. There is room for more detailed transparency, enhanced marketing impact. However, there's a 8.7 out of 10, so they're executing well. Roadmap transparency, evidence of development and marketing. So all of this, again, will be in the document, in the description, so you can come and do like further research if you want to come and check this out yourself. 8.7 overall, so definitely solid execution there. So let's move forward into adoption. So this will specifically be looking more at the Wu token. Obviously the exchange metrics is something that we'll want to look at too. Let's just pull that up. So Wu. So number 9 in terms of the exchange, I think that's ranked on volume. 24-hour trading volume. Crypto exchanges trust score 10 out of 10. So I mean, they're obviously hitting it. Yeah, so it's ranked 10th overall. So it's one of those. The thing is like these exchange tokens have like. They tend to explode. They really do. Like if you look at KuCoin shares or Gate or any of these exchange tokens, like a lot of them have done extremely well. So that's something to keep in mind. Technically, let's not get sidetracked. We'll go back here and look at the adoption. So essentially, we're looking at token holder growth. The exchange is number 10 overall for the volume. Strong adoption with solid user engagement and market presence. The project demonstrates consistent growth in total holders, active users, and transaction volume. There's room for increased user activity and overall adoption indicate a healthy level. So it's trucking along here. It's an exchange. It's in a crowded space. But they're bringing some unique aspects with their zero fees and their enhanced liquidity. And it's getting adopted. And to be honest, like the price technically, it's really, I wouldn't buy it right now, but it's not terrible looking. Let's go ahead and look at the community here. Did I grab the full answer is in the document. Let's look at the community, see where it stacks up. So for the community, it's going to be looking at their socials. It's going to be looking at any updates they're putting out. And or specifically, actually, this is just looking at their Twitter and their Telegram, and it is looking at the engagement of those accounts, and it is looking at the sentiment of that engagement. So are people, engaged? Are they replying? Are they talking about it? And then also, is that positive? You can see here strong community engagement across Twitter and Telegram, active communication, substantial follower growth, high levels of user interaction, solid community support. So that's obviously a solid 8.8. So across the board, I mean, the last thing that we'll look at is team, but across the board, pretty decent scores here. Let's grab that, put it in this document. So yeah, again, come check out this. We're doing all of the top 200 projects, so you can literally come through here. You'll be able to see, which projects, outcompete on different aspects of the fundamental analysis to really define what type of projects you want to invest in, like sort them all. It's like, hey, I only want teams that are like really executing. You can come in, you can search there, you can find the highest scores of the execution teams. Or I only want projects that have really, really good teams behind them. So we can see here, like it's literally scraping all their LinkedIns, it's finding all their background, and we will rank them a 9.0 overall for their team. So definitely a solid project. Woo, I mean, this is something I'll certainly be keeping an eye on personally as we move forward here. Let's, it's always good to instead of just looking at a technical chart and just be like, oh, well, I don't really know anything about the project. Now we can have this very solid overview of exactly what it is, what they do, what their unique selling proposition is, and let's just calculate the final score that they get and then look at it technically to decide and understand where we might want to be a buyer, where we might want to be a participant in this idea. So let's just grab this. We will chuck this in a little text. Could probably add the overall score. So you can see here it's weighted and everything, came up with this whole scoring system. And we got an 8.78 overall. We'll grab actually that right there. Grab this. Total score 8.78. Boom. Like that. Cool. Maybe these emojis should go on the other side of whatever. But so it's a solid project, no doubt about it. This is a weekly chart, so it has pretty significant trading history, at least for a relatively new exchange, a couple of years of data, which is cool. Now, where would you might want to be a buyer? So for me personally, you can see these are pretty established lows that it put in here. It was a nice structure that came off the bottom. Structure is basically a W, like a W pattern. So we saw a W pattern really off the lows. So that says to me that that's a pretty good indication of where the bottom of this market is. Obviously, we're up here now. And so the first rule for me when I'm investing, particularly with real sort of altcoin names, is I want to be buying between 78.6 and 88.6. This is bargain hunting basically. It's between 78 and 88% off its highs, so it's come back almost that much. And we almost got there. You see, that almost tagged 78.6. This big tail here. If we look at a daily, we might get a better idea. But yeah, you can see it never really put in a nice W in price here. So for me personally, I would be kind of looking for it to hopefully come back down and do something like this. If we could get a nice W down in this area, that's where I'd definitely be looking to be a buyer of this name. And yeah, be the proud owner of some Woo. fundamentally strong project. But yeah, that's a review, and I'll see everybody in the next video.